Hey, how are you all doing? Today we delve into the timeless masterpieces that still influence modern filmmaking, and we're breaking down one of the most famous movies ever produced today, Chinatown, the 1974 masterwork by Roman Polanski. Imagine that it's the early 1970s when Hollywood was going through a dramatic transition. A gritty, more realistic style of narrative was introduced to us by the New Hollywood movement. This was the period that gave rise to Chinatown. It was a time when morality became more ambiguous and happy endings vanished from popular culture. However, what distinguishes Chinatown from other movies from the same era? We're discussing the topics that remain relevant to this day, as well as the writing, directing, and performances. Now let's get started. The screenplay by Robert Towne, which is frequently praised as one of the best written, is the core of Chinatown. Towne skillfully crafts a story that is both complex and horrifying. It's more than just a detective narrative. It's a story of power struggles, corruption, and the hard reality of 1930s Los Angeles. Towne based the narrative on actual occurrences, specifically the early 20th century water problem in Los Angeles. This historical context allowed him to craft a story that seemed both particular and universal. And let's not overlook the conversation. It's incisive, humorous, and full of subliminal messages. Every sentence feels like it serves a purpose, whether it's illuminating a character's past or alluded to the movie's more complex ideas. Chinatown is a visual feast for the senses. Under John Alonzo's lens, the cinematography, which was initially intended to be more stylish under Stanley Cortez, became raw and dirty, a look that wonderfully complemented the film's depressing themes. It's especially remarkable how water is frequently used as a theme to represent the corruption that permeates the entire city. Water in Chinatown is a character all by itself, not just a backdrop feature. It's all around us, always reminding us of the risks involved. The battle over the water is a battle over control, and control is everything in Los Angeles. Water is used by Towne and Polanski as a metaphor for the widespread corruption that permeates the metropolis and permeates all facets of daily life. There's also the striking visual difference between the arid, drought-stricken areas and the verdant orange groves. The contrast between those in positions of power and those left to suffer is brought to light by this comparison. It is a graphic depiction of the fundamental theme of the movie, which is how the strong take advantage of the vulnerable to stay in power. Let's now discuss the characters. The renowned Jack Nicholson portraying Jake Gittes is by no means a flawless hero. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown. Another fascinating character is Evelyn Mulwray, played by Faye Dunaway, whose blindness is a metaphor for her incapacity to see the truth until it's too late. Gittes is the quintessential anti-hero, a man who tries to do the right thing but is always foiled by circumstances beyond his control. His imperfections endear him to us. He's not the unbeatable Hollywood hero, but rather a man struggling to make ends meet in a dishonest society. Evelyn Mulwray is a character shaped by secrets and tragedy who is equally compelling. Her damaged eye is a representation of her warped perspective of the world, one that has been warped by the deeds of strong men, not merely a physical shortcoming. Chinatown is still regarded as a monumental achievement in film even after 50 years. It continues to be a reference point for everyone who appreciates great narrative and has influenced innumerable subsequent motion pictures. Chinatown's influence can be felt across genres and generations, from Blade Runner to True Detective. It raised the bar for noir movies by fusing the traditional aspects of the genre with a contemporary sensibility that is still relevant today. Chinatown is fundamentally a movie about corruption and power. It concerns how the powerful use the system to their advantage and preserve control, frequently at the expense of the weakest members of society. John Huston's icy cold portrayal of Noah Cross personifies this depravity. He is a man who disregards the repercussions and views the world as something to be exploited and discarded. That's all about the classic Chinatown. If this video has been a good insight for you, subscribe to our channel for more such recaps.